Okay, everyone. So today we are going to be talking about the writing process, and our focus will be on pre writing. Okay, so whenever anybody hears the word writing, especially high school kids, y'all are like, seriously, do we really have to do this right now? Or I suck at writing, I don't want to do it. Or the topic is stupid. I get it. When you hear writing, you think the struggle. And I get it because when I write, sometimes that's how I feel too. Writing is not easy for everybody. It's not, I mean, anybody, even if you are a writer, it still takes time. It's a process. You have to plan. And that just goes with the territory of writing. So no matter whether you're a beginner writer or you are an expert writer, it's always a process. It doesn't just happen. There's things that go into it, and pre-writing is one of the things that goes into it, and it's probably one of the most crucial steps to developing good writing. The only way that you're going to have a well-organized essay is to think about it, brainstorm, get some pre-writing done before you can develop those ideals. Okay, so like I just said, it doesn't have to be a struggle. So, and I know y'all are thinking, don't lie, you know it is a struggle. No, it doesn't have to be. So, writing is a process for everyone, including myself, which I kind of mentioned to y'all already. But with planning, it's possible. So, don't get discouraged. Today, we're going to work on pre writing so that you guys can kind of get an idea of some of the different things that you can use to make sure that you know what you're going to write about and you don't get stuck in a rut. Okay, so there are multiple ways to pre-write. Like, there's not a one way fits all type thing. There's that, that's, it's just like one shoe doesn't fit everyone, and that's the same with pre-writing. Even though I am going to focus on one way today, there's different ways. So I don't want you to think that the one way that I showed you guys is the only way. So some people like doing outlines. Some people like to just kind of write and just have different ideas going everywhere. Some people like using graphic organizers. It just depends on what type of person you are and what works for you. And sometimes it depends on what you're writing. Like if you're writing a narrative, you might like doing free writing, or you might like doing organizer where you have kind of different events and stuff, or it just depends. So today we're going to focus on one form of pre-writing. So that focus is going to be on the Foursquare method. I know that many of you guys who have been around at MacArthur for a while, or you had me last year, we did the Frayer model. And I mean, if you like using the Frayer model, that's great. But I think the Foursquare method is a little bit easier. But technically, if I'm doing my own writing, I normally do the outline, but I think that the outline can be kind of complicated for some people, especially if you're a beginner writer. So I'm just going to teach y'all the Foursquare method. I think it's an easy process. If you're a visual person, it probably will work really well for you, and it lets you just kind of get those ideas out without all the tediousness of everything. So let's go ahead and get started with this Foursquare method. Okay, so here we go. We're looking at our prompt. So as you can see, I kind of looked at things. So they give you a read statement, they give you a think statement, but those things don't really mean anything. So I crossed it out. So yeah, we got it. It's good. If you want to read it, just kind of get the brain fluids flowing, you can do that. You're welcome to do it. But the main thing that you should focus on is your right statement. So the prompt says, write an essay explaining how the actions of others can inspire a person to change. Okay, I think I can do this. I think I got something in the brain I can use to write this essay. So let's go ahead and get started on the pre-writing. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw out my four squares. So I put my box kind of X, erase everything that was in the middle, and then I'm going to write my, this is what goes in this box. So this is my ideal, the essay topic, and we know that the essay is talking about how your actions can inspire others. So I'm going to write the actions of others can inspire a person by, or to change by, okay, so I got a starter now. So I know this is what I'm going to be, this is what we're going to write about. So in this top, let's see, top left quadrant, this is for my doodles and my notes. So this is where I kind of just brainstorm, right? Whatever comes to me. So in the top right quadrant, this is going to be for like facts, examples, explanations, details. This is where I kind of just think of some different things that I could actually use to support this topic. And the bottom left quadrant, this is the same thing that was in the top right quadrant. So I put an acronym. This is my feed. So it's the same thing, facts, examples, explanation, details. And then as of right now, I'm going to try to come up with a concluding statement, but we'll see how that works as I go through this process. I might want to change that to my thesis statement. I don't know. So we'll see how it works, and I might keep it as concluding statement in the last quadrant, or I might change it. But let's go ahead and start working on my doodles and notes. So I'm just going to brainstorm. Let's see what comes to me. So the first thing that I think of is, I always hear this statement, actions speak louder than words. Can that tie into this topic? I don't know. Okay, so then I start thinking about my daughter, Miriam. She repeats everything that she sees her dad do, or that she sees me do, that she sees her auntie, my mom, my little niece or nephew. She does it. Whether it's good or bad, she follows what we do. So then I started thinking about my mom. She was a teacher. Now I'm a teacher. So her actions must have inspired me some kind of way. My pastor's actions inspire me. So does his words. His words always are very inspiring. Oh, then I think of Ryan Broyles from that Receiving Grace article that we read last week. Or was it? It was the week before. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago we read that. So I think I can do something with that article. So I go ahead and highlight it. So Ryan Broyles, his Haiti trip. Okay, so now I'm starting to work on my facts and explanation, examples, and details. So let's speed this up again. So he had a rough life. He did things that got him into trouble. Didn't really care. He was ungrateful. He felt entitled. He was a football player. You know how those people can be sometimes. No shade. But his trip to Haiti changed his entire life. So the actions of those Haiti people inspired him to find his purpose. Okay, I think we got something here. So I think this possibly could be very, very good for my thesis statement. I think we're getting somewhere that has potential. That last statement has potential. So let's keep on brainstorming about my facts, examples, explanation, and details. So Broyles not only wanted to change his purpose, but he became a more dedicated person in every aspect of life. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change this last quadrant to my thesis statement section. So after coming up with my notes and my facts and examples and my more facts and examples, I think that I can finally come up with a complete thesis statement sentence. So cross out that concluding statement. We're not going to use concluding statement. We're just going to put a thesis statement here, and this is what our essay is going to be about. And then we're going to have the go-to example that we're going to use for the essay in our body paragraphs. Okay, so let's see what we're going to come up with. So I'm going to use that sentence stem that I created and my center box as my starter. And then I think I'm going to focus on his purpose and dedication as my 2 body paragraphs in this essay. So the actions of others can inspire a person by helping them to find their purpose and encouraging them to be more dedicated in every area of their life. Sounds all right. Might want to make some changes when I'm actually writing it, but this is just my pre-write. Nothing has to be perfect. My spelling doesn't have to be perfect. My grammar and punctuation doesn't have to be perfect. This is just my pre-writing. I got some notes down, and I have a main ideal, a thesis statement that I can go from. I have a lot to work with right here. So I have my examples. I have my thesis statement. You know, we already got a lot taken care of. So right now, I know what each of my body paragraphs is going to be about. I know how I'm going to start my essay because I have my thesis statement. And since this is a start essay, we don't have to have a hook. So I think I'm just going to start it with my thesis statement. But that's for another video. Right now, we're just focusing on pre-writing. But if you see, this process is super easy. I mean, there's no right or wrong way. As long as you get something written down and you're able to come up with your thesis statement, that's what matters. Okay, so now you guys are about to do your own pre-writing. So, happy writing. Yes, and we know the struggle is real, but you can do it. You can do it. Okay, guys. See y'all later. Happy writing.